Hello everyone. Let us today start with a very interesting topic of class plus 1, that is biological classification. It is chapter number 2 for class plus 1. Now let us first introduce the topic with the definition of what is classification. Now student, classification is a scientific practice. It is a practice of identifying and grouping of living organisms into categories. When we classify, when we identify, when we categorize the living organisms into categories, this is called classification. And the branch of biology that deals with classification is taxonomy and semantics. Now let us further move towards the chapter and introduce a new topic which is known as the three domains of life. Carl Woese differentiated the living organisms into three major domains. The first domain is domain archaea, the second domain is domain bacteria, and the third domain is domain eukaryota. These are the three domains which divide the living organisms and which was divided by Carl Woese. Now as we further move, we will see that each domain is categorized or subdivided into various subdivisions. Like domain archaea, it is divided into, we discussed in domain archaea, the methanogens, halophytes, thermoacidophiles. Similarly, when we discuss domain bacteria, it is subdivided into Then we come to domain bacteria. Now domain bacteria is further subdivided into cyanobacteria, spirochetes and firmicutes. Similarly, when we move to domain eukaryota, it is divided into kingdom protista, kingdom fungi, kingdom plantae and kingdom animalia. Now what is this chapter all about, or what we have to discuss in this chapter is the characteristics of each and every domain and the subdivisions and the kingdoms. This is what is asked in your exams. Also small terms like what are methanogens, what are acidophiles, what are asci, we will discuss further in the chapter. So let us begin with the first domain, that is domain archaea. Now archaea has certain characteristics. As the name indicates, archaea means it is found in very harsh environmental conditions that was prevalent on the planet Earth in very early times and are still prevalent on the planet Earth. And they have no nuclear membrane and they have distinct biochemistry and RNA that makes them different from eubacteria. Now what are methanogens? Now methanogens are the archaeobacteria that are found in the gut of the ruminants. I hope everybody knows what are ruminants. Ruminants are those that chew the cud, that feed on grass, leaves, etc. Now they make methane from the dung of ruminants. You may be asked in 2 marks questions, what are methanogens, what are halophytes and what are thermoacidophiles. Then we come to halophytes. These halophytes lie in the habitat having high salinity and high light intensity. Then we come to thermoacidophiles. They live in hot springs. So this is what is about domain. Then we come to domain bacteria. Students, we have already discussed the domain archaea, their main characteristics. We have discussed methanogens, halophytes and thermoacidophiles. Now we are moving to second domain, which is domain bacteria. Now bacteria was first discovered by Van Leeuwenhoek in 1676, and following are the characteristics of bacteria. They are prokaryotic. Now students, before discussing they are prokaryotic, first we should all know what is the difference between prokaryotes and what is the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, because now and then you will be finding the word eukaryotic prokaryotic cells, eukaryotic cells. It is first we should understand what are prokaryotes and what are eukaryotes. Students, this you have learned in your 9th or 10th class, what is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Now let us give a quick quick feedback to what are prokaryotic and what are eukaryotic cells. Now prokaryotic cell, they have a cell wall, they have a rigid cell wall. Eukaryotic, they do not have a cell wall. Prokaryotes, they have a cell membrane, the organelles are bound by cell membrane. Eukaryotes do not have cell membrane. Prokaryotes are single stranded, eukaryotes are maybe double stranded. Prokaryotes are unicellular, eukaryote, they may be unicellular, they may be multicellular. So these are some of the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Now whenever the term prokaryote comes, you should be at once clear, yes, they are unicellular, they are single stranded, they have a rigid cell wall, they lack cell membrane, and they have Golgi bodies and mitochondria, they are also absent. So let us discuss about bacteria domain. Now bacteria are prokaryotic. Number 2, bacteria are single stranded, they are eukaryotic, as we have already discussed, they are prokaryotes. They lack a nucleus, Golgi bodies, mitochondria. And the most important thing is they are the smallest of all the living organisms. You may be asked in multiple choice questions, dash are the smallest of all the living organisms: bacteria, viruses, plantae, animalia. So you should be able to answer yes, bacteria are the smallest of all the living organisms. And the 6th point is they are heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means they depend on others for their food. Why? Because they lack chlorophyll. We know that the plants that have chlorophyll make their own food, and these bacteria, they lack chlorophyll, so they are heterotrophic. Then we come to the subdivision of bacteria, that is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is no different from bacteria. It is found in fresh and in soil and fresh waters. It is unicellular, as it is a type of bacteria. It lives in symbiotic association with lichens. Flagella is absent, nucleus absent, sexual reproduction is absent, but it has well-marked sex organs. Cell wall is slimy and mucilaginous. Slimy and mucilaginous means it is sticky and it is very, very slithery and slimy in touching. Next we come to 5 students. Before discussing domain eukaryota, let us remind ourselves of what is the 5 kingdom system of classification. This we have earlier students, we have done it in 9th and 10th class. What is the 5 kingdoms theory and system of classification? This was first advanced by R.H. Whitaker in 1969, and the 5 kingdoms were kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. These are the 5 kingdoms which were advanced by Whitaker. Now let us, in domain eukaryota, the kingdom Monera is absent, but students, it is in your syllabus. Kingdom Monera and the characteristics of Monera kingdom are still in your syllabus. So we will first discuss the characteristics of kingdom Monera. The first kingdom Monera is also known as prokaryota. So we will get reminded of yes, it has all the character of prokaryotes. Number 1, it nuclear membrane, lacks plastids and mitochondria, is unicellular, reproduction asexual, sexual reproduction absent, has a rigid cell wall. They can be autotrophic, they can be heterotrophic. Autotrophic means they have chlorophyll, they make their own food. Heterotrophic means they depend on others for their food. Now the next kingdom that comes under domain eukaryota is kingdom Protista. Protistans have certain distinct characteristics that differentiate them from Monera. Protists are also eukaryotes. They have mitochondria and nuclear membrane. Mode of nutrition is absorptive, photosynthetic. photosynthetic. Reproduction is both sexual and asexual. Then kingdom Protista is further divided into various small groups, and the first group is Chrysophyta. Chrysophyta diatoms are included in Chrysophyta. So the following are the characteristics of diatoms. Students, it is very clear from the picture what is the structure of diatoms. The following are the characteristics of diatoms. They are microscopic and they are single celled. The second characteristic is that they are marine. We have already discussed that the kingdom Protista, they are marine. Now, next is dinoflagellates. It is, students, we shouldn't remember that dinoflagellates is a subdivision or the subclass of kingdom Protista. Now, dinoflagellates are single cell. They are motile. Students, you should know each and every term which is being told to you. For example, flagellated. Flagellated means it has a tail. It has a tail-like structure which helps in locomotion. Then motile. Motile means it has a tail and it helps in movement. It is motile means it moves with two flagella. It has two flagellas. You can see the two flagellas. They are marine. They reproduce only through asexual mode. Now the third subdivision or the subclass of Protista is euglenoids. Euglena, see the picture of euglena, students, in the picture. It is very clear that it has one or two flagellas. Here euglena has only single flagella. And you know, students, euglenoids have both plant and animal characteristics. They are green and they are holophytic. Reproduction both sexual and asexual, and flagella disappears prior to division. Whenever it reproduces through asexual and sexual mode, or when division occurs, the flagella is disappeared. So these are the characteristics. Then the fourth category or the fourth subdivision is of slime molds. They are also called slime fungi. They lack chlorophyll. They reproduce through spores. And the fifth category is of protozoans. Protozoans are predators, they are parasites, and they are heterotrophic. Predators means they attack, they cause diseases, they attack the living organism. Parasites means that they depend on others for their food and nutrition and harm the host plant. These are parasites. They are not in symbiotic association with the host. They harm the host plants and hence they are parasites. And they are heterotrophic because they lack chlorophyll. The subdivision protozoan is further divided into 4 subdivisions, and the first subdivision is zooflagellates. Zooflagellates are flagellated, means it has a flagella, heterotrophic, and they have asexual mode of reproduction. Example, Trypanosoma leishmania, Giardia intestinalis. These both causes serious diseases in human beings. Next is sarcodines or sarcodina. They are freshwater, they are pathogenic, means they are disease causing, and locomotion is through pseudopodia. You know, students, in amoeba, how does amoeba move? It moves with the help of pseudopodia. So locomotion is through pseudopodia. Example, amoeba histolytica. Fourth is ciliata. Ciliata means they have cilia. Cilias are hair-like growths. Cilias are hair-like growths on the body of the bacteria that helps in movement also. Ciliata is the most advanced group of protozoa. They are freshwater, locomotion is through cilia, and reproduction is through asexual mode. Example is Paramecium. Then we come to sporozoa, which is one of the most dangerous and one of the most harm causing bacteria or protists. that is found in the human body, because it is endoparasite. Endoparasite means it lives inside the body of humans. It is parasitic. It is parasitic means it is disease causing, and reproduction is both sexual and asexual. For example, Plasmodium, the malarial parasite. Plasmodium is a parasite that is carried by female Anopheles mosquito and is injected into the blood of humans through if the female mosquito, Anopheles mosquito, bites a human, it injects Plasmodium or the malarial parasite into the blood of humans, and that causes malaria in humans. The next kingdom is kingdom fungi. They are some of the characteristics of fungi kingdom are they are heterotrophic. Their basic unit is hypha. You know, students, see the picture of rhizopus that is given to you on the left side of the screen, on the right side of the screen. These long sticks, they are called hypha, and each hypha may be septate or it may be aseptate. Septate means it is interrupted by cross walls. When there is division of these hypha or there are cross walls between these hypha, it is called septate. When there are no cross walls or the hypha is without any cross walls, it is called aseptate. Rhizopus is aseptate. It does not have any cross walls. Okay. Now the reproduction may be through fragmentation or budding. You can be asked in small terms, what do you mean by oidia? What do you mean by conidia? When hypha undergoes segmentation, it produces yeast-like structures which is called oidia, and detachable sporangias which are on the top. You can see sporangia on the top, students, which is colored. They are called conidia. Sexual reproduction may be through isogamy. Iso means similar, means when the gametes are alike, and isogamy when the gametes are dissimilar, and oogamy when there is a fusion of male and female gametes. So these are the characteristics of kingdom fungi. Now, as we have already discussed the subdivisions or the classes of Protista, let us study the classification of fungi into various categories. The first is Phycomycetes. Very important to note, it will come in one word or multiple choice questions. Dash is called the algal fungi. Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes or Deuteromycetes. You should be able to know that algal fungi is Phycomycetes. Why? Because of the aquatic habitat. It is aquatic, that is why it is called algal fungi. All the alga, they are present inside the they have aquatic or marine habitat. Then we come to Ascomycetes. Ascomycetes means it is also called sac fungi. It is called sac fungi and it is the largest class of fungi. It is the largest class of fungi. Again, it is a multiple choice question, that which is the largest class of fungi. You should be able to know that the largest class of fungi is Ascomycetes. Then we come to Ascomycetes. They are produced in sac shaped structures called asci, and each asci bears 4 to 8 ascospores. The asexual mode of reproduction is there. Sexual reproduction is through hologamy and spermatization, means sperms are produced during sexual mode, and its example is Penicillium. Then the third subdivision is Basidiomycetes, which is also called club fungi. All the mushrooms, puffballs, bracket fungi, smuts, they are included in Basidiomycetes. Now, each basidium have a club-shaped structure that has 4 basidiospores on the tip or on the top. You can see the picture of basidium, students. It is club-shaped and it has 4 basidiums on the top. So this is a picture of basidiospores which are on the top, and it is a picture of basidium. Now, students, I have not mentioned it in my PPT, but it is very important to know about the economic importance of basidiomycetes. Student, these basidiomycetes, they have great economic importance. As we have already studied earlier that mushrooms are included in basidiomycetes. Mushrooms are edible, so it serves as a value for food. Then basidiomycetes are the greatest are the best decomposers of wood. They are among the best decomposers of wood. And one of the most important economic importance is basidiomycetes contain anti-cancerous substance which is called clavin. This clavin, which is an anti-cancer substance, is present is a member of basidiospores. So basidium or basidiospores, they produce an anti-cancer substance which is known as clavin. Also students, some of these basidias like smut and like rust, they cause disease in plants. Then we come to deuteriomycetes, which is known as fungi imperfecti. It is called fungi imperfecti because it lacks sexual reproduction. That is why it is called fungi imperfecti. And one of the most important thing is that students, that it has both the members of ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. Therefore also it is also called fungi imperfecta, means it is not perfect. It consists of a mixture of ascomycetes and basidiomycetes, and the hypha are branched and septate, means there are cross walls in the hypha and it is branched also. Let us now move to kingdom Plantae. Now students, Plantae kingdom, as the name indicate, it has all the characters or all the plants, they come under kingdom Plantae. Now Plantae, they have a cell wall, they are walled and they are eukaryotic in nature. And the photosynthetic pigment is present in kingdom Plantae because they have chlorophyll in them. They have sexual mode of reproduction, and the red, blue-green algae, mosses, ferns, plants, all the plants, whether they are red or blue-green algae, whether they are mosses or whether they are ferns, all the plant kingdom, they come under Plantae. The last kingdom out of the 5 kingdom theory by Whittaker is kingdom Animalia. Now, as the name indicates, Animalia, they are multicellular, they lack cell wall, they are eukaryotic. Now, I hope that all the students and all of you are very clear of the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So, kingdom Animalia, all the members of kingdom Animalia are eukaryotic, means they have double-stranded RNA, they lack cell wall, they have the organelles are surrounded by cell membrane, and the nutrition is ingestive type, and the mode of reproduction is sexual. So this is what we have till kingdoms of 5 kingdoms of Animalia. We have covered today the 3 domains and also the 5 kingdom system of classification by Whittaker. Now what we are left with in this chapter, students, is about viruses, virioids and bacteriophages. So this we will discuss in the next class. So further we will discuss about the back exercise, the question answers, few multiple choice questions that will be discussed in the next classes. So students, I hope the lecture is clear to you. Kindly give it a reading thoroughly, and wherever you have doubt, just go through the PPT, and wherever you have doubt, you can ask me anytime. So just go through the PPT, and I hope everything will be clear to you. Thank you students, and have a nice day.